before we start, whenever I say SpongeBob, you will say SquarePants to let me know that I have your attention. Okay, SpongeBob.
SquarePants!
Are you ready to listen now?
Yes!
I will count 1 to 5, and if you will be quiet, that signals me that you're ready to listen. Okay, you're ready to listen. Let me ask you this question. Which is more torturing for you? Spoken language or physical contact?
Physical.
Really? Spoken language. Yes, spoken language. Why? Because this more its effect is more on psychological. That's why we Filipinos are very sensitive. We tend to easily get hurt by words. That's why in our context we try to make our words less offensive. That's why in our everyday language we use euphemism. Well, what is a euphemism? A euphemism is a polite expression used in a place of words or phrases that otherwise might be considered harsh or unpleasant to hear. Euphemisms are used regularly, and there are many examples in everyday language. For example, someone cooked for you, and while you're eating the food he or she cooked, it tastes awful, and then he or she asked you, is it good? Is the food tasty? Then you're not gonna say, it's awful, I don't like it. You tend to say that it's good, okay. That's an example of euphemism. Well, basically, there are 3 examples of euphemism. The first one is euphemism used to soften an expression. Some euphemisms are used in order to make a blunt, unpleasant mood seem less harsh. Examples of euphemisms that fall into this category includes passed away instead of died, correctional facility instead of jail, departed instead of died, differently abled instead of handicapped or disabled, SpongeBob. Fell off the back of a truck instead of stolen, ethnic cleansing instead of genocide, turn a trick instead of engage in prostitution, negative patient outcome instead of death, relocation center instead of prison camp, collateral damage instead of accidental deaths, physically challenged instead of ugly, custodian engineer instead of janitor, letting someone go instead of firing someone, put to sleep instead of euthanize, pregnancy termination instead of abortion. No to pregnancy termination. On the street instead of homeless. Who can use one of these examples into a sentence? Carl. Use one of this.
Pregnancy termination is immoral according to the church.
Thank you. Very good. And the second example is euphemisms used to be polite. Other euphemisms are used to take the place of words or phrases you might not want to say in a polite company. Examples of this euphemism that falls into this category includes these euphemisms are used to make it more formal. Adult entertainment instead of pornography.
Wow.
Adult beverages instead of beer or liquor. How natural instead of naked. Big bone instead of heavy or overweight. Chronologically, portly instead of heavy or overweight. Portly. Chronologically challenged instead of late. Chronologically challenged. Comfort woman instead of prostitute. Use the restroom instead of go to the bathroom. Break wind instead of pass gas. Economical with the truth instead of liar. Powder your nose instead of use the restroom. The birds and the bees instead of sex. That's birds and the bees. instead of unemployed. Go all the way instead of have sex. Go on. Domestic engineer instead of maid. Let's hire a domestic engineer. Sanitation engineer instead of garbage man. Vertically challenged instead of short. Keep together instead of sex. Use one of these. Use one of these examples. Jana.
Eliza is vertically challenged.
Very good. That's good. Third one. SpongeBob.
SquarePants.
Third one is euphemisms used to be impolite. In some cases, euphemisms are intentionally a grosser or less pleasant way of saying something. It is used to make funny things out of serious matters. Examples include batting for the other side instead of homosexual, beat the big one instead of tight, beat the farm instead of tight, cement shoes instead of dead, beat the dust instead of tight, croak instead of dead, kick the bucket instead of tight, blow chunks instead of vomited, hide the sausage instead of sex, making whoopee instead of sex, and well hawk instead of having a large penis. Use one of these. Use one of these euphemisms. Get.
I saw you blowing chunks last night.
Okay. In the English language, there are 5 macro skills, namely listening, speaking, reading, writing, and viewing. Let me focus on the second one, speaking. How do you say that you're good in speaking? It's not only on the fluency, your vocabulary, and your comprehension. Speaking is one thing, comprehension is another. And for me, there's this fourth one known as the speaking ethics, because you should always know what to say and when to say those words to not hurt the feelings of others. That's all for